It is Monday, February the 3rd of the year of the Lord, 2025. Today the church celebrates the memory of Saint Blaise and Saint Ansgar. Saint Ansgar was born in France in 801 and entered a Benedictine monastery. He embraced on a mission to the Danes at the request of King Harold of Denmark. Only one monk could be found to accompany him into Viking territory. Later, he established the first church in Sweden and served as bishop in the mission territory of Hamburg-Bremen in Germany. Ansgar cared tenderly for the poor, willingly washing their feet. He loved the psalms and chanted them while at work. He composed devotional prayers to accompany each psalm. Ansgar died in the year 165 and is hailed as the Apostle of the North. Today also is a tradition to bless the throat. So today in the masses of 8 o'clock and 7 p.m. we will bless the throat against all the illnesses. The Gospel is taken from St. Mark chapter 4 verse 1 to 20. Jesus and his disciples came to the other side of the sea, to the territory of the Gerasenes. When he got out of the boat, at once a man from the tombs who had an unclean spirit met him. The man had been dwelling among the tombs, and no one could restrain him any longer, even with a chain. In fact, he had frequently been bound with shackles and chains, but the chains had been pulled apart by him and the shackles smashed, and no one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day, among the tombs and on the hillsides, he was always crying out and bruising himself with stones. Catching sight of Jesus from a distance, he ran up and prostrated himself before him, crying out in a loud voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High? I adjure you, by God, do not torment me." He had been saying to him, "Unclean spirit, come out of the man." He asked him, "What is your name?" He replied, "Legion is my name. There are many of us." And he pleaded earnestly with him not to drive them away from that territory. Now, a large herd of swine was feeding there on the hillside, and they pleaded with him, "Send us into the swine. Let us enter them." And he let them, and the unclean spirits came out and entered the swine. The herd of about 2,000 rushed down a steep bank into the sea, where they were drowned. The swineherds ran away and reported the incident in the town and throughout the countryside. And people came out to see what had happened. As they approached Jesus, they caught sight of the man who had been possessed by Legion, sitting there, clothed and in his right mind. And they were seized with fear. Those who witnessed the incident explained to them what had happened to the possessed man and to the swine. Then they began to beg him to leave their district. As he was getting into the boat, the man who had been possessed pleaded to remain with him. But Jesus would not permit him, but told him instead, "Go home to your family and announce to them all that the Lord in his pity has done for you." Then the man went off and began to proclaim in the Decapolis what Jesus had done for him, and all were amazed. The Gospel of the Lord. Now we enter into a narrative section of the Gospel of Mark. This chapter 5, we will read 3 miracles. That is the first one, and then there are another 2. So I invite you to read in one moment the Gospel of Mark chapter 5. It's so beautiful. So you have this man, and Mark is very good in telling us exactly what had happened. It was in a very bad situation. There's nothing to do. The devil really possessed this man, and Jesus comes. Remember, Jesus is in the area of the Gerasenes. It was a pagan territory. This is why you have swine, you have pigs, because the Israelites, the Jewish, do not eat pork. For them, it's an unclean meal, unclean animal, so they could not. So they are on the pagan side. They could eat pig, pork. So this the possessed man runs to Jesus, no? And he prostrates himself. He knows who Jesus is. Very interesting. In the Gospel of Mark, the devils, the demons know who Jesus is. Not his disciples, not the people, but the demons know. Jesus came to destroy the demon, so he knows that he cannot do anything against him. And then Jesus asks for the name. The name is Legion. Maybe behind the idea is about the Roman legions. They were the oppressors at the end. They were possessed, so to speak. And Jesus simply accepts the request of the possessed man to go into the pigs, into the swine. Interesting, because they possess, no, the devils are impure, the pigs are impure, and they go into the sea. And the sea is the place of the demons, according to the biblical tradition. So impure with impure, no, is the power of Satan to go down into the sea at the end. No? And then there are the reactions. No? The people of the town, they beg Jesus to go away. They don't want to change. They are content because business maybe, huh? They made money with raising pigs, and now Jesus destroyed almost 2,000 pigs. So they don't want to follow Jesus. They are not willing to give up everything for him. That is, and then there is the request of the one who was possessed to become a disciple of Jesus, to follow Jesus. But Jesus rather decided him to stay with his family, to give glory to God for what the Lord has done for him. He stays there. No? And the people are amazed. So on one side, the ones who were not willing to accept Jesus are with fear. Instead of the people are amazed. So we have to be amazed for what the Lord has done to us, what the Lord does with us. Let us rejoice and be glad that He can take away all our demons. And but we need to know which demons we have. Today there are many demons who enslaves us. Please share this video with all your acquaintances and friends, and from the St. Leo the Great Parish and St. Luke the Parish in Irving, Texas. May God bless you.